Dr. Katyayani R. Dr. Diana Jacob. Start. Dear students, ప్రియమైన విద్యార్థులారా, I welcome you all to this teleconference program of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. The title for today's teleconference is Blossoming Voices, Nurturing English Teachers Excellence. This is for B.Ed second year students. This is taken from the Pedagogy of English, your study material from 15th unit, Professional Growth of English Teacher. Okay, this discussion we will have for nearly for 40 to 45 minutes, and after which you are suggested to call us and make the queries with us, discuss with us about your questions. The number to dial to us is 040-23680-456. Okay, so to discuss on this topic, we have experts already arrived into the studio. I will introduce them to you all. Okay, so Dr. Diana Jacob, she is Associate Professor, worked at St. Anne's College of Education, Secunderabad. We have Dr. Katyayani, Senior Faculty from Neelam Sanjeev Reddy College of Education, Jambagh, Koti, Hyderabad. Ma'am, both of you are welcome. And one thing I would like to mention here is you are the writers in our study materials. Dear students, the topic about blossoming voices, nurturing English teachers excellence is nothing but it is the journey of a English teacher's excellence. Okay, so journey. Okay, so here before we start discussing with our experts, let me share a bit of knowledge with you all. See, what do you see here? It is an alphabet. It can also be called as a letter. Little Johnny wrote a written communication, a letter to God for a favor. In both these things, what do you see? You see the spelling of letter, alphabet letter Letter, and the spelling of written communication, a letter Letter, is same. The spelling is same, and the what you call the pronunciation is also same. So these words in English language, of course you all know about this, we call them as homonyms. Alphabet A also has something to tell to us. What it is? It is an indefinite article and a vowel voice. Vowels, you know, it is a vowel voice. Okay, so alphabet A has multiple pronunciations. Just to see, multiple pronunciation in different words like cat, cake, father and saw. It is pronounced differently, you know, like indefinite article when we use for the first time we use it, and in the second incident we just change it. So these are the things about the rules of English grammar. There is a hard and fast rule when it comes to English grammar and English. So here what is expected is our experts are also going to talk about the how these things matter for an English teacher to become excellent. It is a journey of an English teacher towards excellent. So this is nothing but it is only a little bit, and now we are entering into the discussion on this topic. It is blossoming voices, nurturing English teachers excellent. Come, we shall now begin the discussion. Okay, thank you madam, both of you are welcome.
Thank you.
in
Thank
our
you,
conference, teleconference program, and thank you for collaborating with us. Okay, so best of luck to both of you. See, just now I discussed the topic, that is blossoming voices nurturing English teachers' excellence. It is a journey, as we all know that it is a journey of an English teacher towards excellence. So, what does the title blossoming voices contextually mean? We know about it. So, now I want Dr. Diana to say a few words on this topic.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, the topic blossoming voices in the contextual meaning of the Unit 15 of your textbook, Professional Growth of English Language Teachers, it means it is a metaphor for the journey of a language teacher. And we have three main points which I would like to discuss on: the growth, the emergence, and nurturing. If you talk about it in the form of growth, the teacher grows in a way that her skills and her confidence levels, they grow every year. Day by day they grow. And if you talk about emergence, we see that the teacher, when she takes up a concept every year or every day, she teaches it from a different perspective. So we see that the teacher is emerging from darkness to light, as well as from something old to something new. She is emerging in her concepts. And of course, the last part, nurturing, is a very important aspect, where suppose you find that there is a flower. The flower blooms only in a in a suitable environment. Similarly, a teacher also blooms only in an suitable environment. For example, the institution she is working in, or the staff room where she is there from morning to evening. The nurturing happens either in the staff room along with the other teachers, or in the institution where you have other teachers and the principal and so many people working towards it. So these three are the main aspects for a teacher to bloom in the environment. Don't you think so, Katyayani madam?
Yes. Okay, ma'am, that's good. You have reflected well on this the title of Blossoming Voices Nurturing English Teachers' Excellence. Throughout the discussion, our discussion will be reflecting on this title only, Blossoming Voices Nurturing English Teachers' Excellence. Okay. So, all this, when we say a teacher, teacher's place is a classroom. So, how a classroom should be? Usually we say that it should be dynamic, because nurturing, blossoming both reflect the dynamics only. Okay, it is a dynamics, it is changing one. So, how a classroom should be? Then what is a dynamic classroom? Katyayani madam, could you please?
Yes, madam. So, a blossoming voices, I would rather define that as, so students are very happy, teacher is very happy, and they are like blooming. So teacher is very happily interacting with the students, and students are enjoying the learning. That is very important. So so you can see those flowers, how beautiful they are. So in the classroom also, students are like flowers, and we are the facilitators, encouraging them to bloom. So here you can see the dynamic classroom. So you can see that student is given lot of opportunities. You can see students are encouraged to interact. So we know that in a classroom we encourage the students to collaborate. So how do students interact with one another? Teacher has to provide that opportunity, that learning environment has to be provided. So here you can see students are collaborating, they are talking to one another, and students are given lot of opportunities to present. So when they are presenting the language, so they get the confidence to speak, they improve. Of course they may commit mistakes, but it doesn't matter, but they get the confidence. and they may initially fluently speak fluently, later on slowly they correct their mistakes and they move towards proficiency. So that can be provided in the dynamic classroom. So teacher's role is like facilitator, encouraging the students to speak, and so that they can develop LSRW skills. So it is the teacher's duty to provide these opportunities and provide proper kind of learning environment. Yes, madam.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. See, like excellent teacher's journey has two sides of a coin. It is not one-sided. It is two sides. One side is students' growth and progress, and also the other side is an English teacher is excelling, it towards, like it is a journey. Okay. So in this connection, what comes to my mind is, does the English teacher, really matter in an educational institution? Either it could be in a school or in an institution. Diana ma'am, could you please?
Oh yes, definitely. The role of an English teacher is multifaceted, and it is a very crucial role she plays in any institution or in any classroom. The very first point I would like to talk about is the key responsibilities of an English language teacher. Her main responsibility is to develop the LSRW skills in them, that is listening, speaking, reading and writing. Other than these four skills, she also has the role to play to facilitate communication in the students. Not many students know how to speak correct English. So it is the role of this English teacher in the classroom who must and should help the students to communicate well every day. And the next aspect of this is she also tries to get the meanings of the literary texts, reading between lines. A textbook is provided to the student, but she would not know how to read it and what are the intricacies underlining it. It is the role of this English teacher who tries to read it and interpret it in her way as well as in the author's way. So this is one very important aspect. The second aspect is she has an impact on students. A language teacher entering into a class, you see that the students, they would love, if the student loves to learn the language, it is this English teacher who has a great impact on the students. She is the one who asks them to speak in English, to build up their confidence levels, as well as to take part in extracurricular activities, as well as you've got the competitions, literary competitions like essay writing, debate, then elocution, dramatics. All these things are instilled by the teacher in the classroom. So even in the life of the student, she has a major impact. In the life of an institution also, the role of the English teacher is immense. We find that in an institution there are plenty of magazines, school magazine or college magazines, or you have newsletters from the institutions which are published. Here it is the role of this teacher who has a lot of responsibilities which lays on her shoulders. She tries to see that it comes out in a perfect condition. And not only in the institution, even outside in the society also, an English language teacher has immense role, because whatever the students are in the classroom and how they speak in the classroom and what they speak, it is all transferred into the society. And as this teacher teaches her lessons, it is that she is supposed to be teaching some sort of values in the students. These values automatically should be reflected in the society. So the role of the teacher is not only for the institution but also for the society.
Yeah, thank you ma'am. Of course, you are the architecture of this title. What I meant to say is, you have suggested this title, Blossoming Voices, Nurturing English Teachers' Excellence. Thank you ma'am. So now see what comes to our mind when we are talking about English teachers' excellence and students getting good at LSRW skills only from the learning only from the classroom or from the teacher, so many things come to our mind. Just one thing I would like to narrate here, that students, the children who start from their homes, whose parents are illiterate, they come to school. From school they come to the classroom and they sit in the classroom, say from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. How to hook their minds? No, they are at your disposal. How transformation you are going to bring in their minds, in each student's mind, in each student's life. These are so many things, who can do this? A teacher who is a resourceful. Okay, so now question comes to us, who is an resourceful teacher? Who is a resourceful teacher? Ma'am, Katyayani
Yeah.
ma'am.
So, we in many of the schools we always see teachers are complaining, no, we don't have this, we don't have good lab, we don't have, students are not listening, and classroom environment is not good, so, and principal is not really cooperating, so many complaints. But a real good teacher is really resourceful, very creative, and he moves from complaining to adaptable teacher. What do we mean by adaptable teacher? So whatever are the resources, if you find in many of the government schools, we don't have enough resources, and even students level is very poor. So and we don't have TLM also, so when they cannot buy. So what to do? So a really resourceful teacher makes use of the available resources, even whatever resources are available in the school compound, in the surroundings. The teacher makes use of that and makes like low cost TLM are prepared, and encourages the students also to prepare, and while they are interacting, while preparing these things, so they are improving their LSRW skills. And the teacher also understands, this resourceful teacher is understanding the student psychology and uses creativity. Okay, this student is really poor, he is not interested, how to motivate this student, what can I do, like independent attention, individual attention can be given, and spend some time with that child and motivate them, and probably guide them, and like the listening skills or speaking skills are very poor, students is not able to cope up. When the teacher is doing the model reading, student is not understanding, then teacher can sit after the school hours, teacher can sit with the student and slowly make the student understand. So like that, teacher need to motivate the students. And when the teacher starts spending time with the students, students are motivated. Yeah, teacher is interested in my learning, and they take interest in learning. And teacher can provide examples from the life of the students. So don't give like textbook, bookish kind of examples. Take the examples from the life of the students, whatever they are experiencing. Suppose now monsoon is there, so talk about the monsoon, talk about the roads, talk about the community they are living, and any kind of festivals like Ganpati festival or Batukama, whatever they have experienced recently. So talk about their life, take examples from their life, the environment, so that they get connected easily and they start talking. So we have to make the students talk, that is very important. So resourceful teacher so understands the psychology, and then try to use TLM, low cost TLM, even if the TLM are not provided in the classroom, and even the school environment is not good, even then teacher uses creativity and somehow see to it that students learn. And teacher also can team up with other schools. Okay, I am preparing this TLM and you prepare those TLM, let us share this TLM. So teacher can team up with the other school teachers and share ideas. Okay, this is the problem I am facing, how can I make this child improve? So did you face that kind of student? So can you help me? Can you give me some ideas? So like that, they share the ideas. So team up with other schools and the senior teachers, take ideas from them, their experience, and try to have use some creative ideas so that the students develop their proficiency. And teacher also can, like this low cost with low cost material, low cost laboratories and school garden. I really insist, we are talking about environment all the time. So develop school garden so that you can provide experiential learning, and while using that school garden, the student make the students, we are talking about Nayatalim activities, experiential learning. Let them plant the trees, and then water them, take care of those plants. Every student can have one plant in the garden, and while planting they share the ideas, and you can advise them, okay, share those ideas in English and you provide examples in English, so that slowly they pick up their language. And so a creative teacher can really excel, and the teacher is happy and students are also happy. Yes madam, do you agree?
Yes, yes. Oh, what a resourceful explanation it is. Indeed, it is taking us to all the schools, all the primary schools, and also the teacher education institutions who are preparing the trained teachers, etc., etc. Excellent, madam. So, is being resourceful. Being resourceful is the one quality, one key factor in attaining excellence of English teacher. I don't know, but see, let us see. So, excellent means what? From good getting to the better, from the better getting to the best, beyond that excellent and something more. Okay, so it is good if we know some of the key factors. Being resourceful is also, it adds to the excellence of an English teacher. But what are the other key factors? There are certain key factors. If you look at the primary school students, they think something more about themselves. Is there anything any task that we can make them learn on their own without the help of the teacher? This is what we are going to discuss now. But before that, let us see the key factors that contribute to the English teacher's excellence. Diana ma'am.
Yeah. Now, to be the best teacher is difficult, and if you have to be an excellent teacher, it is all the more difficult. But I have identified 5 areas where an English teacher can be excellent in her field of teaching. The very first one is pedagogical excellence. What do you mean by pedagogical excellence? That is, you have to be a subject expert. You have to be an expertise in your own subject, that is English language. Talk about how the English language has evolved and how it has developed, and it is developing. You also can talk about, the different lesson plans. Make use of the different lesson plans in your teaching. You don't have to use only one lesson plan. You have got various lesson plans. If you want to teach let us say poetry, you use a different type of a style of teaching. If you want to teach prose, you have got various other styles of teaching. So, you have to be, as a teacher of English, you should identify which type of lesson plan or do I write, or which type of a transaction I do in the classroom. It is very important. Along with it, you should also know the vocabulary, the grammatical structures, which is very, very important for the student to understand the text. The second aspect is communication skills. Well, communication, as I told you, only if you are a role model in the classroom will your students follow the same. So, a language teacher, especially an English language teacher, should have correct pronunciation, the right pause, the right pace. Then the students will pick up from you and be able to communicate. Of course, the third one is classroom environment. You as a teacher should be able to create an environment in the classroom to speak, so that your students, instead of using their mother tongue, they use the best or the correct English in the classroom. Be it discussing their ideas or sharing their ideas with one another, let it be in English. So, you should be able to give that type of an environment in the class. Now, a classroom is not, it is a similar type of students. You have varied type of students with different backgrounds. You have to listen to them, give them a chance so that they speak. Even if they are a little bit hindering to talk in English, it is okay. Motivate them to speak so that you try to develop that type of an environment in the class. You are permitting them to communicate in English. Then the next one is professional development. If you have to be a real good English teacher or an excellent English teacher, I think you should have some professionalism in you. See that you go to the class prepared. That is the very first step to be professional. Second one is, after you have finished your class, ask your seniors in the staff room whether they could observe your lesson and take a feedback from them. There is no harm. If you get the feedback from them, try to improvise on it, improve on it, so that you become a better teacher. And lastly, an interpersonal skills, you have to be a very good listener. To develop this interpersonal skills among you and your students and your stakeholders, you as a teacher should have good listening skills. If you listen, your students will speak to you, and if they have spoken to you, you have understood half their problems. That is where you develop that sort of a relationship between you, your students and the parents of your students. So, I think these are the most important 5 key aspects what we can develop in the English language teacher to be an excellent teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add one point here, ma'am. So, if teachers want to improve their skills, how to teach, there is one LTI, one website, English Language Teachers Association of India. So, they keep conducting conferences, seminars, and online seminars are also there. So, students, you can register for those seminars, conferences, visit that website. Please note down, English Language Teachers Association of India, LTI. Okay. So, visit that website, and there many journals are also available related to using ICT, related to teaching literature, language teaching. So, you can you can visit those free of cost, and you can read those journals also and attend those seminars. In fact, I myself improved a lot attending these conferences, and conferences conducted by LTI and conferences conducted by FLU and British Council. So, please do not forget to visit this website and attend the conferences, so that you can really excel in your teaching skills.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. That's a very good suggestion. Thank you, ma'am. So, now like this we have so many suggestions coming up for children and teachers, also to English students, also to learn LSRW. Okay. So, an English classroom, maybe say from first class to beyond that also. Okay. How an English classroom should be. How this is a general tip both of you can give. Okay. So, just now I said some tasks can be given to students on their own to learn. Okay. So, what comes to your mind when we are talking about that some tasks, say primary students? So, you can give, both of you can give one tip on this. Ma'am, Diana ma'am.
Yeah. Now, you were talking something about the classroom scenario in a primary. In a primary level, I think the English teacher should have more action oriented activities where the students pick up the language. Now, we find that in the KG sections, we find that the teacher is always in some sort of an action trying to motivate the students to do the action as well as pick up the language. So, I think in that way the English language teacher should always be on her toes at that level, at the primary level.
Yes. Katyayani ma'am.
Yeah, at primary level they love to be active, so they want to play games. So let the classroom also be like playground. Let them jump, dance. So you will have a lot of rhymes, and then let them do enjoy the language teaching. So like Baba, black sheep, like that. So any kind of rhymes or even poems, mother, any kind of poems, they can sing, dance. Let them be active.
Yes.
So then they enjoy at primary level, even at the higher level also, like secondary level also. So let them prepare something, let them be active and then enjoy. While preparing those things, they sing. So singing, dancing should be a part of. Now we are talking about art integrated education. So let us integrate art in the education. So students enjoy language teaching.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
why, madam, we find that the SCRT has also included discourse oriented pedagogy, where a number of projects have been included. So the students, instead of really learning the text in a very standard or the traditional way, they would be able to learn the language through these projects. So that is the main purpose why it has been included into the syllabus also.
Yeah, just now, thank you ma'am, Diana ma'am. Katyayani madam said a resourceful teacher, she can talk about the current things, the up and coming things like celebration of Batkama in Telangana, okay, then festival, okay, so many things. And after entering into the classroom, a teacher can for a second or for a while, for 2-3 minutes, she can narrate her story, how she started from home and what happened in between. And at the same time, she can also ask the students to interact with her. If they know their mother, they can answer in mother tongue, otherwise in other. In the same manner, like if the teacher is using other languages, no other than the mother tongue, like say Hindi is there. Aap kaise hain? Okay, so did you wish your parents today after getting up in the morning? Did you say good morning to your parents? This would do a great impact on them. So
It's very good, madam. What you said is like we are NAP 2020. They mentioned multilingualism.
Yes.
So as you said, so we can encourage even other languages also. At the same time, they switch back to English.
Yes.
And also, what you mentioned is really very true. Values. We are developing values also in the students.
Yes.
It's very good habit. Yeah.
Yes. So because they know their observation is very excellent, they think how their mother is working hard or a teacher is working hard. So there is this thing, so they will definitely start liking English language if a resourceful teacher or an excellent teacher really does something in the classroom. Okay, so English is not our language. So English a child can learn only in the classroom or in the school. English is our official language. Okay, got it. So English teachers, it looks like that they have so many problems. Okay, so if you enumerate like 1, 2, 3, there are many. So let us ask our experts. Katyayani madam also worked as a teacher educator, in the sense like Neelam Sanjeev Reddy College of Education as a lecturer in pedagogy of English. So ma'am, could you please tell us what are the problems of English teachers?
Yeah, usually if we go to the schools, even when our students go to internship also, so at that time they are facing the problem of completion of the syllabus. So they give so much of syllabus is there, so many classes are given to the teachers, and how to manage this, so much of workload. So teacher is really burdened, and in government schools there are other responsibilities also, like midday meal and also many other, taking photos, sending the data to the government. So a lot of workload is there, and TLM, they don't really, government doesn't provide much, and they have to spend money, their own money, and students are coming from the kind of background where parents are working and they are not really rich. If you see government schools, even when we see the higher class students also, what I mean to say is like financial level. So middle class and then lower middle class, so higher level. So everyone has their own problem. Suppose both the parents are working, even if they are rich, parents are not giving time. So students are doing, they are getting distracted with phone and other things, and they are not giving attention to the education. And the parents very poor background. So they also, parents don't know English and they are also working. So they are also not motivated. How to motivate the students? So it's really a big challenge. And in the classroom, we have different levels of English. Students, some have very good fluency, some understand, they manage, and some don't understand at all. When our students go to the schools during internship, they find, madam, he doesn't understand even basic also. Like basic English is also not there, and basic English structure, basic grammar, nothing is there. So how can we teach them? We are asking them to teach in English. So when we do model reading, so students are not able to understand. So it's really big challenge. And then large classes. In the private schools, we have very big, like almost 40-50 students are there in the class, and they cannot give individual attention to the students. So all the challenges are there. So already I said that resourceful teacher has to use creativity and how to cope up. Just now Diana madam has said that discourse oriented. Suppose you have a lot of syllabus. So let the students read the textbook, read the lesson at home, and here let them do the discourse, role play. So they enjoy doing the role play, they will write the dialogues, they are improving their writing skills, they read the text and then write the dialogues and they present that in the role play. So naturally we are developing LSRW skills. So discourse oriented pedagogy is really useful. So and it takes less time. So but you have to insist that students read at home, and you have to help them in writing the dialogues, etc. And then like choreography, they will enjoy doing choreography for the poem. So like this you need to resourceful teacher has to be creative. How can we manage completing the syllabus in less time, and at the same time how to make the students enjoy. And then for teaching grammar, so have language games, use lot of TLM like or even videos, show videos, and from those dialogues or create the situation in the classroom, make the students do that. So suppose a fan is moving, to teach present continuous. So what is happening, how is the fan, just ask them, fan is moving, so revolving. So you can very easily teach grammar like that if you when you create situations. So you need to create situations, context, so that they can understand grammar very easily, and make use of language games, substitution tables, and then flashcards. So all these will help you to have very good vibrant classroom, and students get motivated and they start enjoying the English classes. You can ask them to prepare TLM also, so that they can show off their TLM they prepare and they share their knowledge in English. Thus they can improve their skills, LSRW skills.
What a feast to us.
Ma'am, but now since the problems faced by an English teacher is mentioned, I had gone through many schools in Andhra Pradesh as well as here, and I found that the English teachers were facing a lot of problems. So I have come up with a book. I have written a book, Ready Reckoner for English language teachers, which has 15 types of lesson plans. So, by making use of those lesson plans, half their work is done. So, they would spend the rest of their time in keeping an eye over the students, so that actual learning happens in the classroom. This is one book what I have written, ma'am.
Yeah, nice. You can like at the end I will give you the more details about the book written by Dr. Diana. So reading is also a LSRW, like third one. It is good habit. Teachers should make children to read the textbooks. Like for first class child, a teacher can tell the child to read the textbook of 10th, from first to 10th class. The lessons, stories, texts that are there, I don't feel that they are restricted only to one class. A teacher can read out all the lessons. Say for example, you have C.V. Raman's lesson. It can be in English, it can be in biology, it can be in physics also, it can be in science, environmental science. Okay, so how can you restrict the one particular story or lesson to one class? I believe in this manner. You can give the inspirational stories that are there in our textbooks. Say from 1 to 10th, you can read to any class, and if you want to test, you can test by saying that write the story of a Mother Teresa using fanboys, like subordinating conjunctions are there. Okay, so coordinating conjunctions are there. Using coordinating and subordinating conjunctions, write the story from class 8th, or Swami and his friends, Swami at his school, Swami and his school. Or so many things are there. When they are talking about the games, you can also make quiz. Like from this textbook you can make some bits, like this study material is there. Those who are preparing for just now LTI and other things are there. For schools to teachers, there is one test, that is TET. But beyond that, there is English test also. You can make use of this, and you can appear for so many tests and get good at English language, and you can bring a difference in your home and also at your workplace and at your institution and among your peer group, etc., etc., because we don't find people talking English in our neighborhood. If I go to a Kirana store fellow, I talk either in Hindi or in Telugu. Okay, so like that, because it is a journey, it is not so easy from good to the better and from better to the best. Okay, so now let me come to one more thing. Just now I said it is an indefinite article, okay, a, and so many rules. English grammar is always full with rules, that is content, knowledge, and also pedagogical skills. An excellent teacher or a teacher should balance between these two. So here question arises, how can a teacher balance English content and pedagogical skills? Ma'am, Diana ma'am, would you reflect?
Yeah, thank you ma'am. Content knowledge and pedagogical skills both are two sides of a coin. An English teacher should have the knowledge of the content as well as she should have pedagogical skills. Now, if I am talking about content knowledge, the teacher, she should not only be superficial in teaching the subject or the lesson. First of all, she has to go behind the lesson or at the back of the lesson. You have got detailed prescribed grammar and vocabulary where the teacher is supposed to really study it thoroughly. To teach a grammar aspect is not very easy at all. The teacher should study the grammar aspect thoroughly as well as the vocabulary or the glossary which have been identified. Now, glossary also, it has got different meanings in different contexts. Suppose you take the word front. The word front has two meanings. One meaning is in front of you and the other meaning is at the border of the country. So, according to the context of the lesson, the teacher is supposed to teach the vocabulary. So she should be really an expert in that. She has to read the lesson, reread the lesson, and then, as I was telling you in the very first point, that she has to read between lines also to help the students understand the lesson thoroughly. The second one in the content knowledge is, what about the structures? English language is subject, verb, object, order. So how she is going to teach that to the students, adding the complement or the direct and the direct object, indirect object, how it can be expanded. If she wants to increase on the vocabulary, how she is going to make use of the prefixes, suffixes. So many things are to be added to help the students develop on their vocabulary. That is the content knowledge. Pedagogical skills, well, of course, here again she has to think about which or in which way she is going to teach a particular subject. She should be able to use the right lesson plan. She should be able to use the right method or the approach. If you are talking about methods, you have got bilingual method, the grammar translation method, which is not existing now. But I think, you know, at times grammar translation method can make life easier in the classroom. You also have got, you know, the total physical response. This is a new method. In the Indian classrooms it may not be happening, but why cannot the language teacher make use of it? You have got even the flipped classroom, where, you know, the teacher asks the students to read the lesson beforehand, and after she has come back to school, teach it from the different perspective, so the student understands it. So to strike a balance between the content knowledge and the pedagogical skills is very, very important. Too much of lecture method is also not very appreciable, and too much of using of technology also is not very good. The teacher should know to strike a balance between both the content knowledge as well as the pedagogical skills. Now, a teacher with only pedagogical skills and no content knowledge is not at all a teacher. Similarly, a teacher with only knowledge of the English subject and doesn't know how to put it across to the students in the classroom also is not a good teacher. So she should be able to strike a balance between both of them. Then you may ask me, then what are the benefits of it? Well, benefits are, first of all, the teacher has got satisfaction that she has done her class well. And the second one is, if you do that in that manner, the students, the learning outcomes are better. You find that the students are, you know, better in their performances. So I think, madam, we should be able to strike a balance between both of them, content knowledge and pedagogical skills.
Yeah, pedagogical skills, writing lesson plan, you know, like it is a hard skill, and implementing that in the classroom is a soft skill. Okay,
so here I would like to add, ma'am. So we have like direct method, bilingual method, then communication, communicative approach, then structural approach, of course teaching grammar, etc. So and then communicative approach. Now we are using collaborative method also. We make the students constructivist approach. So where collaboration is happening and cooperative learning is happening. Right now we are using constructivist approach and direct method or bilingual method, a combination of that. So in the classroom, teacher has to decide which method, which approach, how the combination has to be. So eclectic approach. So teacher can decide and use accordingly.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for like adding that point. See, just now we heard at length about resourceful teacher. Nowadays trend is like that a different kind of teaching is required in the classroom. Can a resourceful teacher take up that or not? So before going coming to the closer to the our discussions, let me ask one question, like what is reflective teaching, ma'am?
So what do we mean by reflective teaching? So a teacher, if, as you said, like the good teacher, better teacher and best teacher. If a teacher really wants to improve and be a best teacher, then teacher has to plan teaching, as Madam Dr. Diana has said, like has the pedagogical knowledge as well as the content knowledge, and plan accordingly the methods and the plan, write the lesson plan, period plan, now we are calling that as period plan, write the period plan and teach. So teaching, then my job is over, you cannot think like that. So you can take video of your teaching and observe, and then you observe and then analyze. So how did I teach, what did I teach, and is there, you are planning according to some objectives. So did I make the students achieve those objectives, did the learning outcomes happen. So you are observing and then reflecting, and then after reflecting you are again planning. So as Gibbs reflective cycle mentions, so you are, while analyzing, you are thinking what happened, how did I teach, how did I feel while teaching. At the end of a good class you feel, yeah, I have taught well, it's really good class, you get that satisfaction. Sometimes, yeah, something the students did not learn, something I committed some mistake. So how did you feel? So as a teacher, am I happy, and what was good, what was bad, and how, what sense can you make of the situation, what has gone wrong, why students did not learn. Did I present, okay, I prepared TLM very well, but did I present very well, and why some students are not able to understand whatever I have prepared. So what to do next, how to plan. So a reflective teacher can really analyze the problems teacher has faced, and accordingly plan, and even according to the infrastructure available, according to the students level, their psychological level, and teacher has to plan, and that is reflective teaching. Teacher reflects and teaches. And so next plan, in fact here we can see that in B.Ed we have one teaching diary. So there teachers reflect. So we'll come to that later. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So reflective teaching is nowadays is up and coming thing. A teacher has to reflect, and a student also should reflect, and reflecting teacher always impresses her learning students. Okay, so it is like a cycle, it is like a cycle. Now there are 4 C's, like 4 C's usually. In general we are talking about 4 skills. One is creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. So since time is not permitting me to ask all these things, I would like to restrict to critical thinking and creativity. Ma'am, how do you encourage teachers for critical thinking and creativity in her classroom?
Right. Now, critical thinking and creativity are 2 major aspects which are existing in everybody, but the only problem is creativity is snubbed in the classroom because the teacher wants to finish her syllabus. She doesn't give scope for creativity as well as for critical thinking. But I think at the base level we could ask why and how questions in an answer. So it is there that the students really think about it. For example, if a text has been given or a poem has been given, through critical thinking you can ask, why is it that you like this poem? The students, they think in their own ways. It is not the what and the when and the how of it. They think about it in the concept or in the category of why she likes this poem. So she tells it in her own words. So in that way we are trying to bring up that critical thinking skills in our students. You can also ask, they have seen some accident or something which has happened on the road, critically analyze why it has happened. Now you find, you can give another example. There is so much of rains. Why is it that these rains are in destroying the cities? So the student should be able to tell the answers in their own ways. So in that way they are critically thinking about it and communicating. Similarly in creativity, as I told you, every student, everybody, even you and me, all of us are creative in our thoughts and in our actions. Now you can ask our students, to creatively choreograph a dance. They will come up, they will mix and merge and they will synchronize and they will come up with a new dance program. So that is one aspect. The second one is, if the student is interested in poetry, can you ask them to write a poem on their own? Surely, give them time, at least 2 lines a couplet instead of a sonnet. Ask them to write a 2-line poem. They should be able to do it. The teacher has to think, the English language teacher should think different ways and means of asking the student to write a poem or a drama, or give them a script and ask them to do a text and ask them to write the script for it, ask them to identify the characters, write the dialogues for it according to the textbook, and then they should be able to do it. So when they are doing both of them, I think you are encouraging them to be smarter students. Creativity and critical thinking makes the students both smart.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. And there are so much to add this, but since time is not permitting us to, you can take up the task. You can take up the task of an professional growth of English teacher, and you can really expect a question in your examination from this unit. Okay. So now we are all talking about English teacher and English teacher. So could you please list out the qualities of an English teacher? Ma'am, Katyayani ma'am.
Yeah. So I was talking about like as a reflective teaching. So a teacher really reflects, and then according to the students, teacher uses the method also in the classroom, and teacher is very creative and very important to English teachers. Okay, we are talking about general English teachers. Qualities are like having empathy, good communication skills, good rapport with the students. But English teacher especially has to be very good in English language, should have good proficiency, and should be able to use para language like in discourses, role plays, etc. Teacher should encourage the students to use para language. What is para language? Non-verbal language. And then using suprasegmental features like accent, word stress, intonation, high pitch, low pitch. So English teacher should be able to use all these while doing model reading, and encourage the students also to be excellent in that. And while presenting language in the role plays, etc., teacher should encourage these. And also teacher should use language games, and teacher has to encourage the students to speak, communicate in the class, activities, lot of activities, so that they improve their vocabulary and grammar. And teacher can make use of lot of learning resources, use ICT, so and encourage the students also to develop videos and audios. Nowadays young kids are very good in taking videos. Let them have as a part of project work, let them have some video and then talk about that. So they improve their LSRW skills. So you have to be creative in how I can make my students be involved, engaged in English language learning. So then your students are very happy in the classroom, you are really blooming English teacher, and your students are blossoming.
Yes, thank you ma'am. And we have come to the close of this session. Here is once again let me remind to you all that dear students, you will definitely get a question from this discussion, and you prepare your answer how to write in the examination. Okay. So the topic, the title, Blossoming Voices, Nurturing English Teachers Excellence. Nurturing means what? It is from within, okay. So one should nurture oneself taking all these tips from our teleconference program. Of course, you have textbooks and many other resources to shine in your field. Okay. So, what one thing comes to my mind, voices, blossoming voices means it is a shabd. Shabd is acknowledged as valid source of knowledge. When the voices, the blossoming voices, the accents, when you do in the classroom, you know, definitely it reflects on the what you call knowledge side. Okay. So, it is shabd is also used in conveying the meaning, that is why we say proper pronunciation. Okay. So, by following all these rules, what we have to do, we have to move from bottom to the excellent side. Okay. I hope you all have enjoyed our lesson. Thank you for watching, and I thank everybody cooperated in conducting this teleconference program. Thank you one and all.